to another SwiftUI tutorial. Today we're going to be going over authentication using Firebase Auth, and we're going to be building out this pretty simple login sign up UI, and we're going to be linking it to Firebase. So this is what it's going to look like. We're going to have, this is our login page, and we're going to have an animation to the create account page. And we're going to hook this up to Firebase and have a running backend at the end of this video. All right, so let's get started. Let's go in and create a new folder called views. Inside views, I want you to create a new file called login view. And we're gonna start by making a Z stack actually, since so we're gonna start with using our Z stack, since in our example project we do have a white background on this page and a black background on this page. So we want to ensure that on every device, no matter what kind of whether it's running dark mode or light mode, it always has the same color in the background. So next we're gonna do our header. This is just going to be an H stack with a text of welcome back. Oops. And it's gonna be a large title, and we're gonna bold this. So I'm gonna be going a little faster on the UI portion, since this video will be focused on connecting things to Firebase mainly. So down here we're gonna do the spacer to push at the top. I don't like how it's near the dynamic island and the notch a little too close. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Next, we're gonna start working on our text fields: image, system name, mail. So we're gonna have our icon. You see it's on the bottom of the phone. So now we need a text field. Let's call this email, and we do need our state variable to bind our text to. So I'm just gonna call this email, and we're gonna set it to an empty string, and we're gonna bind it to that. And I'm gonna have another spacer here, and then we're gonna have our image system name check mark dot font weight. This also is bold, and our foreground color is gonna be dot green. So yeah, we have that. Now let's make this look a little bit nicer. So first off, let's start off with some padding, and we need an overlay, since we're gonna try to have a custom style on this what's it called, text field. So yeah, we have a background now, or sorry, an overlay, a rounded rectangle, and I only want the outside of it, so we're gonna use the stroke function, change line width to 2, and then keep the foreground color to black, just in case the user does use a different light mode versus dark mode. Okay, so we need some more padding on the outside. Like that. Okay, great. So now we do have our text field finished, and I'm gonna copy this and then paste it underneath. So now we have 2. This one will be called this is gonna be our password. Make sure you change the system name of the image to be lock, and then this is gonna be password. Right now it's gonna be, I'm just gonna do this password. So we're gonna initialize this state variable after, and then this looks, we can keep that. All right, so I'm just gonna copy this and then call this password. Whoops. All right, so now it should be working. Great. Okay, and let's see, we need 2 spacers down here, because I want to push this a little higher than the center, like that. Yeah. And we're gonna have a button here. Or actually, I want to do this first. I want to have let's see, I'm gonna do it underneath here. Button We're gonna do text, and then it's gonna ask don't have an account. This button will take you to the other view. So I'm using black opacity 0.7 because I like this slightly darker version of the gray instead of what Apple provides us. It's a bit too light for this specific button. So we need another button here, which is our this is our sign in button, where we this is where we're going to contact Firebase. .white .font .title3 whoops .bold .frame max width, and then .infinity, and then we need a tad bit of padding. Okay, why can't we see it? Oh, it's because I used the foreground color here. We're gonna change it back later. Just for now, background rounded rectangle. So I want to have a background here, corner radius of 10, and then fill color.black. I'm gonna add a padding horizontal since it is touching the corners, and we are going to change this back to white. Okay. That's our UI pretty much finished, and I want to introduce something called a regular expression, or regex. I think that's how you say it. But what we want to do is do some validation in the email and password. So here we have the check marks, right? So here I'm gonna do something really simple. We're just gonna do email.count is not equal to 0. So if the user has typed more, or has started typing, we're going to show this icon here. So where's password? I'm gonna be doing this just because we won't be doing any error handling specifically in this tutorial, since we're just hooking up Firebase, but it's a very good exercise and you should definitely try it out. So we're gonna be doing a bit of client side error handling already, just to make sure like the user email is valid, like it has an @ symbol, has a dot and then whatever after, and the password is like a specific number of characters and has maybe like one special character or maybe one uppercase. We can do that. We're going to be doing that right now. So here, same thing in the password. I'm going to be changing the password, or we'll do that after. Okay, so if password dot count is not equal to 0, then we're going to show this. Okay, so now we have to do the regular expressions. So I'm gonna be adding a new group here, our new folder. We're gonna be calling this extensions, and we're going to create a new extension called string. So I'm just gonna say string, and then we're gonna say extension of string is going to be, we're gonna have a function, okay? We're gonna have another function called isValidEmail, and it's gonna return us a boolean. Okay, just make some space, okay? Let regex is equal to try, exclamation point, ns regular expression. And then this pattern is something you can find online, okay? So I'm just going to copy this and I'll just tell you what this regex does. So this is going to check for valid email. So what it does is, say we have our input is something like this. This will give us true, but something like test.com will give us false. All right, so we had to add options real quick to make sure the case is insensitive. And now we're just gonna return first match in self. So this is whatever we pass in, whatever we run this function on. And then range, we have to create an ns range. Location starts at 0, and then the length is just the count of our self. So we do have to make sure this is not nil. Okay, great, let's test it out. Let's go to our email, and we're gonna say we're gonna use some ternary operators, and we're gonna say email.isValid email. If this is true, then we return check mark. Else we return an X mark. Do the same thing down here with the color. So email.isValid email. If it's true, it's green. Else it's red. Okay. So yeah, this is not working. But if we say it's like we said, test@email.com, yep, it's working. And now for the password, I'm going to show you a different way of implementing what we just did. Instead of using the extension, I'm going to be we're going to make an actual function here. So I'm going to say private func is valid password. I'm going to do an underscore password here since I don't want to reiterate too many things in this function. So say when we call another function, here, let me open this first. Okay, so if we call it somewhere like here is valid password, and we add our string, so say password text, we don't have the password parameter in front, so that it makes it a little easier to read since we already have password inside of the function call. So yeah, just a little quality of life thing. So here we're gonna say let password regex is equal to n as predicate, and then format is going to be self matches % at. So what this does is it just checks with the string that we pass it to and make sure that it does it is a valid when it's checked to this regex expression. So I'm just gonna paste this and I'll explain real quick what we get. So it's minimum 6 characters long, and we are required to have at least one uppercase character and at least one special character. And let's just make sure we have a return here of boolean, and we're going to return password regex evaluate with password. Okay, so let's go all the way down. All the way down here to password. Where is password? Okay, I'm gonna go to password, and same thing is valid password. I'm passing password. If it's true, then check mark. Else we have X mark. I'm gonna do that with this color too. Is valid password. These are colors, not system names. Okay, so green and red. Let's just check. So test@test.com. Yep, and we're gonna start off with password just normally. Okay, that doesn't work. So capital P A S $WORD. Okay, we're good now. So it's past our 6-digit or 6-character long minimum, and one uppercase character and one special character. So now I want to make sure we have we hide the password while we type. So where it is, yeah, right here. We're gonna change this to secure field. So now when you type in there, it is blocked. Now we're going to do the sign up view. This is gonna be really similar to the other one, sign up view. And I'm literally just going to come here and then copy everything in here. We're gonna go here, paste, make sure it works. Okay, and there's a few things we have to change, like create an account. Sign in, we have to say create account. Create new account. Here we have to change this to say already have an account. And according to our demo, we had this different background, so black background. So what we have to do is change all these colors to black. So we're gonna change our background. Now we're not gonna be able to see anything. Next, we're gonna change this to .foreground color .white, so we can see that. Okay, let's go to here. So this H stack, we're going to put it outside. So this is going to hit everything inside of here, unless it has its own specific foreground color that it's explicitly provided, like this image, which is provided with our red and green. That won't be affected by this white. I'm gonna do the same thing down here, dot our foreground color, dot white. Okay, and let's see, we're missing a lot of, oh yeah, I forgot to do this one. Whoops. We're going to do here and here. We've missed that structure. Okay. And finally, we do have our button. I want to keep this as the apple gray since it's a little lighter and it's easier to see. Okay, so that's clicking. We're gonna change this to black and this fill to white. Okay, nice. And we have a small issue since we can't see the our text field, the preview. Since this is running on light mode, the black will be covered. So we have to change the preferred color scheme to dot dark. So now we have our stuff. Okay, great. Let's see. Now we have to introduce another file. This is going to be the auth view, and all we're going to do in here is create a state variable is current view showing. Okay, let's just stick with that for now. So we're going to start off with login page. So there's two different possible cases in here. We can have login or sign up. There are better ways to do this, like we can make an enum, but in this case, since this is geared for beginners, we're only going to be sticking with strings. So let's say if current view showing is equal to login, we do pass the login view. Else sign up view. And we have to do our preferred color scheme dot light, and this one preferred color scheme dot dark. Okay, now we have to be able to bind this state variable in order to access it when we press that button, this don't have an account button. So I'm gonna say at binding current showing view string, and we're gonna have errors on this page and the other page, but it's okay. We're gonna keep this right here. And we're gonna go to that button right here. For now, I'm just gonna add it with animation since we're gonna need that after to achieve that transition. And we're just gonna say current showing view is equal to sign in. And then for the sign up. For the sign up view, we're also gonna paste that binding variable up there, and we are going down. I'm gonna delete this since we're not gonna be needing these anymore. Okay, and this button we're going to say with animation again, self.current showing is equal to login. And now back to our auth view, we're gonna get some errors. I think we have to delete. Oh, okay, great. So we have to. Oh my gosh, we have to pass in this binding of current view showing, and we're also going to pass this one, current view showing. All right, let's run it and see if it works. Oh, okay, I'm going to delete this. Okay, I forgot to call in the content view. So we're just going to say auth view. That. Okay, so welcome back. Don't have an account. Okay, nice. You can either keep this animation if you like it, or you can implement the transition effect like I showed in the demo. So we're going to be implementing that right now. Going back to the auth view, we're going to our sign up view, and we're going to say .transition .move edge .bottom. This just moves it from the bottom and replaces it when it comes down. So it comes down like that. So whichever one you like better, you can experiment with some of the transitions that you want to try out. Apple has these transitions documented really well, and you can just like explore them and then find something that you like. All right, let's get started with connecting Firebase to our app. First off, go to firebase.google.com and make sure you have linked your Gmail account or Google account. And we're gonna click go to console up here. We're gonna create a new project. I'm gonna call this SwiftUI Auth. And we're just gonna follow the instructions here. You can create a new account if you want. I'll be back when this finishes. Done, and press continue, and it's gonna walk us through how to set up our app. So first we have to register it, and we can find our bundle identifier by coming to targets, signing, and then this bundle identifier right here. So targets, signing, and then identifier. Go back and paste that in. These are optional, so I'm just gonna keep that. We need to download this Google Service Info plist, and I'm just going to paste it inside my Xcode project. So I'm gonna paste it right here. Make sure it's within this folder and not on the outside one. And I have to rename this since I was testing beforehand. All right. After that, let's add our Firebase SDK. So you just copy this link, and we're going to be going to Files at the top next to Xcode, and we're going to add packages right here and paste it on the top right. And we're going to be downloading this package. Make sure we have dependency rule to branch, and then you're on the master. So just add this, and I'll be back when this is finished downloading. Firebase just finished downloading, and we're going to be picking out the packages that we want. So I'm going to be checking Firebase Auth and Firebase Firestore. We're going to include Firestore since I do have a project in the future that I want to use this project, authentication app with to build on top of it. So let's just add these packages, and while it's finishing up, we're going to go back to Firebase and copy the, we're going to copy the code here to initialize it. So we're going to go to SwiftUI Auth app. This is going to be whatever you named your app, and or literally whatever your app name is plus app right here. This is like the first place that your code goes to run. So that's why content view is over here. If I added like auth view, then it would use auth view to run. So import Firebase core. That's what Firebase told me to do. I don't remember if I copied. I'm going to copy this. Actually, we are doing this a little differently since we don't have an app delegate. We're going to have an init function here, and then we're just going to paste Firebase auth configure. So whenever the app is initializing, it's going to configure the Firebase backend. So then we'll be connected and ready to go. So now that we have everything downloaded, let's go back and turn on authentication. So I want to build and then authentication. Now let's get started. We're going to select email and password. We're going to enable that, and then save. All right, so I want to go over how to go through Firebase documentation, since reading documentation is a really important skill to have if you want to be a programmer. So what we need is password email authentication. And you can just Google this, but I'm already here. So the first link looks right, but this is for web, right? And then we're working with iOS. So we just open up iOS. Sign in with a pre-built UI, we don't want that. Get started, we already configured Firebase. Manage users, we are not doing that. We're doing password authentication, so that's what I select. The first part is just telling you to download the Swift package managers packages that we already installed. And here, this is configuring, we've done that too. So here, step 4, create a new account by passing the new user's email address and password to create user. This is what we want, and this snippet, I'm just going to copy it, and we're going to go back to our app. Let's go to sign up view, since this is creating a new account, and this button, create a new account, is exactly where we want to put this code. I'm just going to comment this all out for now. We're going to go to the top. I want you to import Firebase Auth, since that's where the Auth, all of these create user functions are going to come from. So we're going to say auth.auth, just following the instructions, create user, and then we're going to use the one with completion. So with email, it's just whatever email we had. Oh wait, why did the completion not come here? Oh wait, hold up. Auth.auth. Thought I did completion with completion. Alright, it's fine. We're just gonna use this then. Alright, so we have the right variables, great. Auth result. I'm going to, whoops, I've been doing too much JavaScript. So I'm gonna print the auth result if let auth result is equal to auth result. So this just checks if auth result is actually a thing. We should probably print the error actually. Yeah, let's do the error first. If let error is equal to error, we're gonna say print error, and then we're gonna return. And then else we're gonna print results, and then it should probably redirect us, right? But I'm just gonna make sure it does work. So run Firebase. Oh, it's building new packages, so this is gonna take a while again, so I'll be back when it finishes. App running, and let's test it out. So we're gonna go to our create account page, test@test.com, and then I'm just gonna do a password. Oops, I forgot we made it tougher. Okay. Create new account. Let's see if we do have anything to the console. Okay, we have our data. Let's go back, and I want to see successfully get the user result. Okay, I want to see what this object looks like, but we're gonna go here and then just look at users first to see. Yep, we just got our test@test user created. This is their user ID. I'm gonna make sure I'm able to get the user ID. So let's go back, and let me see what kind of things we can pull from this. Dot additional user credential. Could be non-nil user. This is what we want. Dot. I want to print their UID, because that's what we're gonna link it to in the future. That's usually what people use to link users to their database. So like, say this user has like purchases or something, you're gonna be using that user ID to link them to their purchases on your database, since it's going to be unique no matter what. So I'm just gonna create another account this time, just to make sure we do have our user ID printed. Test@2.com. Create new account. All right, we got it printed. All right, great. That means we're able to sign up. And let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's do login first actually, yeah, because let's get the Firebase stuff down with. So sign in a user with email and password. Same thing. Okay, let's copy this code. When a user signs into your app, pass email and password to sign in. That's exactly what we want. In the sign up view, or sorry, login view. Wait, did we just put in the log? Okay, yeah, we did it right. Okay. Import Firebase Auth, and then down here we're gonna just paste this. I want to see this. We don't need the weak itself. If let error is equal to error, print error, return, else print auth result user.uid. Okay. instead do error handling. So that auth result equal. Just in case this doesn't return anything. Okay. We're gonna do what we just did, test at 2.com, pass word. Okay. All right, so now we successfully logged in since we got our UID back. So what happens if we give it a wrong password? All right, so it tells us the password is invalid or the user does not have a password. So this would be a really good opportunity as an exercise to implement the alert. You can find out how to use SwiftUI alerts on Apple's documentation, and just pass in this description into the alert, and then that will serve as your error handling. So now we have to make sure the user is redirected when they are logged in. So we're going to be using user defaults to store whether a user is logged in or not. So user defaults are really useful when you're storing some user information on device. For example, if you're making like a music app and you want to store the user's last used volume, as in like how loud their music was, you can store that on user defaults as like maybe like an integer like 70, and that could correlate to 70% of volume. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use something called app storage. It's a wrapper for SwiftUI user defaults, and makes working with user defaults really, really easy. So what we're going to do is give it a key, and then we're going to do variable. We're going to call this user ID, and then we're going to set this equal to empty string. So this makes it really simple when we're doing conditional rendering. So if we just say if user ID is equal to an empty string, we're just going to pass it the auth view. That just means the user is not logged in. Else we're going to return logged in. Your user ID is okay, there we go. User ID. Okay. Did not want that on the side. Okay, there we go. So what we're doing here is we're just making a text, and then it's going to be a new line. Your user ID is, and we're going to pass in the user ID from the variable. Okay, so let's go back to the views. Here, when it's a success, we just say with animation. Okay, we need to have the app storage. I'm just going to copy this over so there's no way we mess it up. Same thing over here. We're just going to go down to here when we get the result. What did I? All right, that should work. Let's run it to test. Okay, test at 2.com. Okay. Okay, great. So we are logged in. Nice, nice. So I do want to add one last thing, the ability to log out. Oh, just to show you when we leave, when we come back, let me just rerun it. Using user defaults with app storage, it persists our login. So when we restart the app, we are still logged in. We don't have to do it again. Okay, so now in the content view, we just have to add one last thing and we're done. Action label, and we have to say text sign out. So let's just implement this sign out feature. Let's go to our documentation again. Let's look for, is it here? Right here. To sign out user called sign out. Firebase Auth. Okay, this looks good. Let's copy this. And we're going to paste it in here. Import SwiftUI, or sorry, Firebase Auth. All right, let's see if it works. Oh wait, one more thing we have to do. We have to do this. User ID. Oh, we have to set it back to no, but only if we get to there. Let's see. Sign out. Okay. I want the with animation again. Let's try creating an account this time. Okay, sign up. Nice, nice. All right, so that was a tutorial. We went over a lot of things today. We went over creating this pretty slick UI with transitions and validation with regex. And we were able to connect Firebase, our first backend, if you're following the tutorial series, the first backend in our SwiftUI apps, and the ability to do authentication, which is really important in pretty much every large-scale app nowadays. Make sure you are subscribing and liking, since I'll be putting out a lot more videos about Firebase and especially Firestore in the next coming videos. And you're going to be learning all the ins and outs of using a NoSQL database and combining that with the other Firebase features like Firebase Storage, Firebase Firestore, and we might even touch on Firebase functions. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful.